One of the economic issues concerning in Malaysia nowadays is urban poverty. Many families are facing this economic situation and worsen after the pandemic COVID-19. Based on the My Star newspaper article, it stated that the urban poor are particularly at danger and affected by crises and natural disasters. The COVID-19 epidemic, which saw an upsurge in poverty rates across the country, is a prime example. Hardcore poverty in Kuala Lumpur dramatically increased by 270% in just 2 years, from 1,048 families in 2019 to 3,865 families in 2021. In Malaysia, any family that having a BEEB1013 status who resides within a city's boundaries is considered to be poor. This group can be divided into two categories, which is poor and hardcore poor. A family is considered poor if the household income is below RM2,208. Meanwhile, hardcore poor has household income below than RM1,169. The living cost in urban area is high compared to the rural area. This makes the family who is staying in urban area had to survive and grab any job even with lower income. Urban poor families frequently struggle with a lack of community support, inadequate housing, limited access to education, and greater living expenses. In addition, many lack formal training and poorly skilled, which makes it challenging to get secure employment. Furthermore, urban poor job seekers frequently face competition from the tide of migrant workers. Thus, the question is, what are the factors, causes and statistics related to this urban poverty issues?
When considering the factors of urban poverty from an economics perspective, the following factors play a significant role. Number 1 is income inequality. Income inequality refers to the unequal distribution of income among individuals or households within a society. In urban areas, to be exact, there can be a stark contrast between high-income individuals or groups and those with low incomes. The concentration of wealth and limited economic opportunity for low-income individuals can contribute to urban poverty. Unemployment and underemployment. High rates of unemployment and underemployment can contribute to urban poverty. Urban areas may attract a large labor force seeking employment opportunity, which can lead to an oversupply of labor. Factors such as technological advancement, economic downturn, and changes in industries can result in job losses or limited employment options. The lack of job opportunities can trap individuals in poverty and hinder their ability to generate sufficient income. The third factor is informal economy. The informal economy refers to economic activities that are not regulated by the government or included in official measurement of economic output. In urban areas, a significant portion of the population may be engaged in informal work, such as street vending, informal labor, or small-scale unregistered businesses. These activities often lack job security, legal protection, and access to social benefits. Individuals working in the informal economy may experience unstable incomes and limited opportunities for upward mobility, contributing to urban poverty in Malaysia.
Poverty can have a wide range of negative effects on individuals, families, and communities. Some of the most common effects of poverty include health problems. People living in poverty are more likely to experience a variety of health problems, including chronic diseases, mental illness, and infant mortality. This is due to a number of factors, including limited access to healthcare, poor nutrition, and exposure to environmental hazards. Next, education problems. Children living in poverty are more likely to attend poorly funded schools, have lower academic achievement, and drop out of school early. This can have a significant impact on their future opportunities and earnings. Thirdly, housing problems. People living in poverty are more likely to live in overcrowded, substandard housing or be homeless. This can lead to a total number of health problems as well as a total of social isolation and stress. Moreover, employment problems. People living in poverty are more likely to be unemployed and underemployed. This can make it difficult to make ends meet and can lead to a cycle of poverty that is difficult to break. Last but not least, crime and violence. People living in poverty are more likely to be a victim of crime and violence. This can have a devastating impact on their physical and emotional well-being. The effects of poverty can be far-reaching and have a significant impact on the lives of individuals, families, and communities. It is important to address the root causes of poverty in order to break the cycle and create a more just and equitable society.
Let's look at data and statistics on our topic urban poverty. It refers to the set of economic and social difficulties that are found in industrialized cities. As we can see, the recent report published by Dawson stands for the Department of Statistics Malaysia in the year 2020 reveals an increase in the incidence of absolute poverty from 5.6% in 2019 to 8.4% in 2020. The increase in absolute poverty in Malaysia is caused by the direct and indirect economic consequences of the COVID-19 pandemic. That is for the year 2020. But we have found the urban poverty statistic for the years 1990 to 2016. Urban data was reported at 0.2% in 2016. This records a decrease from the previous number of 0.300% for the year 2014. Urban data is updated yearly, averaging 3.4% from December 1970 to 2016, with 17 observations. The data reached an all-time high of 21.3% in 1970 and a record low of 0.2% in 2016. Urban data remains active status in SEEK and the data is categorized under Global Databases Malaysia.
How to overcome urban poverty in Malaysia. Urban poverty has worsened and needs to be rectified. The government needs to come with a wide range of incentives and assistance programs to help the urban poor, who number in the millions now, and who could destabilize the country in the future. Provision of public transport. Without reliable transportation, low-income urban households are at a disadvantage in accessing a wider range of opportunities, which could potentially hinder them from moving up the socio-economic ladder. Next, setting up small and medium enterprises and other industries where there is a high concentration of the urban poor, especially in the low and medium-cost housing areas. Enable more housewives and womenfolk to work by the government legislating for flexible working hours. Encourage local government contractors to employ locals only for a wide range of general work, thereby increasing their income. Urge the government and private sector to employ more of the semi-literate and physically challenged. Besides that, provide more social welfare programs to help the urban poor tide over the difficulties brought about by the pandemic. Many countries are finding success at eliminating urban poverty by improving income levels and better living conditions for the poor to ensure their social mobility to the middle class in the future. Malaysia must eliminate racial and provincial reckonings in its program to overcome poverty, as now there are a large number of the poor amongst all races in the whole country. The multidimensional issue of urban poverty requires players from every area of society to come together with a common goal. That includes all of us doing our part to build a healthy society that thrives and progresses fairly. Although we may not be policymakers, corporate leaders or influencers, there are small but impactful actions we can take to assist the fight against urban poverty.